Hi, everyone. Welcome to iHeartRadio's CEO Unplugged. I'm Joe Bartlett, and our guest today, James Tysseling with AKC Canine Retreat. It's going to be an interesting subject. For everyone who wants to give their dog a little extra pampering, he has just the thing. James, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Why don't you tell us about our extra guest here, Maurice?
Our extra guest here is champion Silverado's Space Cowboy. This is Maurice. He's a 2.5-year-old Basset Hound that is obviously a champion and a dog working his career in dog shows.
Now, you are a dog handler as well, right?
A handler breeder. My wife and I are both judges, but this is our breeding. Been involved in the sport of dogs almost 40 years. We met competing against each other in the ring.
Oh, wow.
Both had Basset Hounds and continued down that road.
So you know about how to treat a dog with luxury.
Absolutely. Beyond luxury.
So, and that's, I assume, what brought you into this business, the canine retreat business.
I've been a hotelier all my life, but canine retreat was one of these focus pieces of how can we take dogs to the next level and give the community and the owners something that makes life simpler for them, makes life better for their dogs, and overall for the community, something that has, a value that a community can measure and say, wow, we've done something better. And that's the focus is, so you have a dog, you need a place for your dog during the day when you're working. Or the example would be we have Canine Retreat also has running paws and walking paws. Those are services that are jog your dog and or walk your dog, and that can be from your apartment back to your apartment. That can be from your apartment to our locations. We have 6 locations in Manhattan that are daycare only with boarding, with grooming, with training facilities. But the walking and running business is a really important factor in all of this, because for the particular clients who say, hey, I have to work all day, my dog needs to be exercised, but I don't want them in daycare, here's an alternative. And it really makes for the community of dogs a saner, well-kept dog that's been exercised, got the relief that they needed, but also the dog that learns community manners. That's huge.
Well, I got to tell you, I know a lot of dog owners. I don't have a dog at this particular moment. I did have a couple of champion dogs, but they're like your children, and you just you don't go to the lowest bidder, and you really have to be careful where you put your dog, or who's taking care of your dog when you're not paying attention to them.
Certainly. So who knows better than the AKC with over 130 years of experience in the dog world? We're not just limited to purebred dogs anymore. We really are focused on all things dogs, and that is events, that is titling. If you say, I have a dog, and I think that a great thing would be, and a perfect example of this that we're doing is training towards Canine Good Citizen. Canine Good Citizen is a title that you can receive, but more so it's the training that you can receive for your dog and you in how this dog can be a better citizen. So that's learning sit stays, that's learning to walk in public and not jump on others, behavior around other dogs. So really important feature, but it's gone to the next level as we approach and talk with residential buildings and say, instead of limiting breeds in your building by size or by breeds, let's say they all have to be CGC certified. Now, any breed of dog, any size of dog could reside in that building as long as they are socially acceptable. And how do you get to that point? You train your dog to a CGC.
I'm always amazed at these dogs that are well behaved, and I just my dogs. I mean, they were okay, but there's another level of obedience that they hadn't reached, and I assume that experts like you and the experts that you employ at Canine Retreat are better able than probably most owners to get that behavior out of the dog, right?
Well, the behavior out of the dog also comes to you.
I knew it was going to come back to me.
Yeah. It's all about you. The answer really comes to this focus of we know how to get the dog to that level. The question is, how do we get the parent to repeat that constantly?
Right.
Because they live with you. They are your family, right? So that's one piece. Another, when we talk about social behavior in daycare, in our facilities, we evaluate every dog coming in. We want to make sure that they're socially responsible dogs, if we call it that. But we measure them based on their behavior, and so they go through this evaluation, and it's, do they have basic commands, yes or no? Do they socialize with the humans? So will they listen to us when we're speaking to them? Because if you go into a daycare facility and let's say you have 20, 30 dogs in a playroom together, and you have a handler in there who has to speak to the dogs as they are playing, and somebody gets out of control, you want them to hear and react to that voice. So that's part of the evaluation, is will the dog listen to a human, or are they focused solely on the other dogs? And then it is, how do they react with the other dogs? If in the end they don't pass that evaluation in our environment, then we offer them, maybe it's the dog needs to go for a run or a jog, or maybe just a long walk before they come in. Maybe they'll be more socially responsible. Or maybe they actually need formal training, all of which we offer. So it's not say, hey, you're welcome or you're not welcome. It's, hey, we want everyone to be welcome. Let's find a path to get you there.
We're talking to James Tysseling, who is the operator of AKC Canine Retreat. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the extra special accommodations that you provide for your clients?
Sure. So you come into our lobbies. All of them have a retail component, obviously. The focus is asking our clients, what is it your dog likes? We staff the people that understand and can explain to you the proper toys or the best treats or the best foods to offer. And that's what we keep on our shelves. We are not a huge retailer. The idea is have the things there that we know our clients are interested or need for their dogs. You come in, the dogs are going into social care if they're for daycare. If they're in for overnight care, they can choose to have social playtime or not. They can have private playtime with just a handler. Then you go to grooming. We obviously have large grooming opportunities that say everything from just bath and nails to a full-service groom. And then we offer training classes, evenings and weekends. All of those people have gone through an extensive training as they've been hired by us. Especially in New York, you're looking for handlers who have a love of dogs and the understanding, the core understanding of dog behavior. That's not inherent in all humans. But they say, I love dogs, I want to work with dogs. So then we put them through a training regimen, which is, it's not just book learning. It's witness in the playroom with another experienced trainer. What do you see? How do you react to that? How do you prevent something happening with the other dogs? So it's a huge component of doing this correctly, and our numbers speak for themselves. Last year, we had 140,000 dogs for the whole year in our operations, and we had exactly 110 incidents.
Wow.
How does that work? That is, we trained the right people to manage the dog and the dog activities, and so we really are focused on the right environment for the dogs and providing that safe behavior area.
Now, I know your friend Maurice is a champion. He's used to champion treatment. The dogs, when they get the extra special pampering, obviously do they return it in love, or what is the payback for this kind of treatment? I'm
glad you asked, because it's really important when you look at the reverse side of that. The parents tell us, my dog drags me to the front door.
Wow, how about that?
So, they recognize this is a fantastic experience because my dog wants to come back. And usually they're very happy to see their owner, obviously, when they come back out of the daycare or out of their grooming space. But, the best speaking of how good the experience was is to have the parent turn around and say, my dog drags me here. If my dog was loose, they would go here. So
that's good.
That's a great accomplishment.
Well, tell us a little bit about how people can get in touch with you or make appointments with the Canine Retreat.
So obviously, our website, akccanineretreat.com. We also have Facebook and Instagram that you can find us, Canine Retreat by AKC. And then there's a core number that we'll find on the website and all of our materials that obviously say, call us, click here, find out more about us. You want to get a contact information form sent in to us so that we can contact you directly more about the services you're seeking, because not everybody's looking for daycare. Obviously, it's a big piece of our business. When I talk about the numbers that we've experienced, weekdays, we touch almost 500 Manhattan dogs a day.
Wow.
It's a big number.
Yeah.
But when you talk about we're jogging dogs from your apartment, we're walking dogs throughout the city, 6 locations, pretty much in a circle around Manhattan, that the location doesn't limit us to where we're going, obviously, if we're walking or jogging dogs as well. So this is, the nature of our business, and how we get to you and you find us is really that core piece of share the information, tell your friends, tell your families. We focus with residential partners because they have the desire to find a service provider. So we go to buildings and superintendents and say, do you have dogs in the building? Hey, here's our card. Tell everybody about us, because we offer some great deals, and you can buy a membership. It's not expensive, but the membership will save you huge throughout the year. So
great information. All right, James Tysseling, AKC Canine Retreat, our guest here on iHeartRadio CEO Unplugged. James, thank you, and thank you, Maurice.
Absolutely.